This video is of Alex, the machinist at Jack's Automotive Machining. He's starting to grind down where the flywheel fits on the crankshaft, and he'll mill that down to standard again along with all the rest of the crank eventually. He has put it in his welding machine and has welded all the journals up to give him more meat so that he can grind them down back to standard. Right now he's getting set up to mic out the end of it so he can fit that to the flywheel. The journal is where the bearings run, on both the mains and the rod bearings. And then when he mills those back down to standard, he will machine the bearings in the rods and the mains to fit the journals so that he'll have like 5 thousandths gap in each one. So it all should be like brand new, or even probably better than brand new. This machine over here is the one he used to weld up the crankshaft. And here's another machine that he uses to weld up crankshafts. And you can see all the parts he has laying around waiting to be machined. There is another crankshaft grinding machine there. He just stopped it a minute ago so we could hear and talk over the machines, but it's still running, but the crankshaft's not turning anymore. Here's a couple of crankshafts that he's already milled. That's the crankshaft he just took off of where we're at working. And there's another grinding machine to do the smaller cranks. This is just the back room of his facility here, just dedicated to grinding the crankshafts. We'll walk out here through this door and you'll see the rest of his shop. This is where he has the end mills, the boring machines. Back in there they do redo the heads. He's got several other people working, 3 or 4 back in the other rooms there. That's his cleanup room, but there's quite an operation going on here. He can do about anything you want to do. He can rebuild your crankshafts, he can rebore your blocks, he can redo your heads. And he's going to have that done shortly, and I'll have it ready to go. I promised you down the road I'd have a video on installing the crankshaft, so we're getting a little closer. Just loaded up everything that the machinist got ready for me. He built the crank back up to standard, and then he fit the flywheel to it, and then he fitted the rods to it, the 2 new rods, and he put on a new crankshaft crank or gear, and he put a groove in the slinger for an O-ring so it doesn't leak around the flywheel, and he sized the new main bearings to the crank, so everything should be ready to go, put back together.